Neural reprogramming. There's only one practical inside of this one. And I'm going to talk you through the power of your self-talk. You should not talk, after this is done, you should not talk to yourself the same ever again. That is one of the goals, is to completely reprogram your language. And I'm going to hold you all accountable to it. So when I do call it out, please never take it personally. Sim's looking at me with a smile.
I know, I need to
Fix myself, we all do. In our own ways. All right. This is the practice of influencing the subconscious mind through repeated self-talk and transcendent thinking. Thinking that is of higher consciousness and intention that aligns with your goals. Are we here? Are we present? Does anybody need anything? Okay. The other term for this is called auto-suggestion. You will see terms like this in your book that we've gifted you, Think and Grow Rich.
Can you go back to slide, sorry?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys ask me anytime. You're never bothering me if you think, if we want to go back, it's totally fine. Neural programming. That's a term I called it.
Can we maybe that?
Yeah. Juge, we can juge. Block out screen. Juge. 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 It's not.
That one you can do it, there you go. Hey, sorry. Why is everyone shitting on almond milk today?
So trash.
Yeah, like I'm drinking this and
The
it's
protein
not the
one?
same. I don't know. It's the protein one.
Tastes like shit. That shit's got less calories.
It's just got high protein.
You drink it?
Almond milk?
The protein almond one?
Nah.
Do you drink nut juice?
Nut juice? No, I don't know what that is. Nut juice?
Almond milk.
Nut. Oh, yeah, because it's not milk. It's not come from no titties.
No.
Right.
I just call it nut juice because it makes people uncomfortable.
Oh, I can understand now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally had almonds in my head. Nah, that's nut juice.
That's nuts.
Sorry.
Oh, wow. Come on, guys. This is the first slide.
My year 7
It's worse for when you miss the notes and then you skip behind.
Yeah.
It's like, that's it.
Yeah, you gotta focus.
Mom, good.
The practice of influencing the subconscious mind through repeated self-talk and transcendent thinking that aligns with one's goals. All right, let's do it. Auto-suggestion. Your mind will subconsciously interpret all information via your reticular activating system. We know this. This is physiology. Okay? So first I need for you to understand that everything coming in has an impact on some level. What influences this?
What influences this? Environment. Awareness.
And what type of environment? Media, culture, upbringing. We are reprogramming the self-talk that was not even of your choosing. You know, a lot of the language you guys use, like you didn't choose to speak it. You are speaking it because of how you got brought up. Even like how much you curse or whether you don't curse.
I get it right from my partner.
Right. See, there you go, environment. Okay. The key point here is ruthless. This is what we're going to be doing. You must ruthlessly, consciously evaluate what is being said to you, the effect it's having, and what you're saying to yourself. This is what most people do not do. So we're just bringing a great deal of attention to this. And I have to belief shift you to be able to do this. Like this is a missing piece for many of you. Is we just say words without much thought. And what's one of the 4 agreements? You guys must not have heard of the book. You're right. It is his fault. Jai, it's your fault. Be impeccable with your word is one of the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. What's the RAS stand for? RAS? Correct. All right. Something to be aware of. So the RAS does something called sensory gating. Sensory gating, you can think of a set of gates in your brain, and it interprets all of the senses, visual, auditory, etc. stimuli. And your brain will preferentially filter information that is important for you to know. Steph used the example of the car the other day that she got, and she begun to notice it so much more. So her brain started allowing and filtering through this, the car that she got, because she had a predefined connection to it when she got the car. Same with the Defender I have here. I didn't notice it before on the road. Ever since I got it, I'm like, what the? There's like 4 today I've seen. I didn't notice it before, but they were there. So your brain's doing something called sensory gating, and it does this for language as well. It does this for language, it does this for beliefs. Now, anybody heard of this guy called Bill Buckner? Probably not. He's a baseball player. Here's what he said during the World Series. The dreams are that you're going to have a great series and win. The nightmares are you're going to let the winning run score on the ground ball through your legs. Those things, they just happen, you know. I think a lot of it's just fate. Bill thought it's just fate. And this is a quote from him before the World Series that he said. Okay. So remember, we're talking about language. So Bill said this. And let's see what happened to Bill. You'll see.
So it's basically a negative manifestation?
I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
We'll see. I'm not spoiling.
I'm writing notes. So.
Okay, well, yes. Negative manifestation is another term you can use. Come on, give me some audio.
Example.
Billy B. Oh, that's why. It's muted. All right, hold on. Ah.
That's gonna suck.
Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? It went through his legs! And for some reason, this audio... Yeah, correct, Clem. Very much.
So there's
All right. Shit worked before. Oh, it's casting. Do this. All right, forget Bill's audio. The point is, it went through his legs. He spoke something out loud and it came true, and it was the worst reality, or one of the worst realities that could happen in sports in his scenario. So his words created a reality, a negative manifestation, as Riley said. Oh, all right, now you want to work.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag, it gets so Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets running.
So Billy B, he fucked up, right? And he messed up the first time we started to speak negatively about himself.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
What?
You like literally, that's so crazy.
Yeah, you connects now? Like, look what he said. Is this just connecting now?
Yeah. Well, I got AI to write it for me. I didn't get to read. I heard what he said, but I didn't get a chance to read it. I don't know if it was beforehand. The way this is worded is different. It's like before the 1986 World Series. Bill Buckner repeatedly told reporters he was worried about the ground ball going between his legs in Game 6, and the exact scenario occurred.
Yeah. Well, what does that make you think and feel?
Be careful with your words.
You be careful.
Right. Okay. And can you actually, I haven't done this, can you ask ChatGPT, can you give me some more real examples of this happening where negative talk creates reality?
I'm using Notion AI.
I showed him how to use it as a muscle. He's very impressed. You can just say emotion.
It is cool.
When it says The Simpsons. Yeah, The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Yeah. Like even Trump going down there.
That's a deep one. Give me, because I'm going to give you guys more evidence, so it's in your souls that your self-talk is real. So I would like, if you don't mind, Haley, could you say...
Michael Jordan, before a crucial game in his early career, Jordan expressed deep concerns about his shooting ability, saying he felt off. That game ended up in one of his worst shooting performances, where he shot well below his average. Greg Norman, 1966. Norman held a 6-shot lead going into the final round of the Masters. I assume it's golf.
Yep.
He had previously talked about his fears of losing big leads, and in the interview expressed anxiety about closing out major tournaments. He proceeded to shoot 78 in the final round, losing the tournament in what became known as one of golf's greatest collapses. Example, Jana Novotná, during the 1933 Wimbledon finals, Novotná had repeatedly expressed fears about choking under pressure, leading 4-1 in a final set against Steffi Graf. She famously lost her nerve and the match, later crying on the Duchess of Kent's shoulder during the ceremony.
All right. There's another 3 examples for you.
I have a question. Is it potentially like, I know negative self-talk, you want to avoid it, but could it somewhat be like intuition? Like I sometimes will walk into a room and I'll be like, something bad's going to happen. Like I will think, I won't even say it. I'm like, oh, something doesn't feel right. And then it's like later proven to be true.
Well, intuition is definitely real, but intuition is different.
Yeah.
I don't imagine Bill Buckner had an intuition. That was probably a bit of anxiety or lower self-esteem or doubt that he manifested into a reality. But intuition, I think you females can speak to intuition on a level that men can't. And so if you walk into a room or walk down a dark alleyway and you feel something that the guy you're with or someone you're with doesn't feel, I believe that's completely real. And what supports this is females are higher in neuroticism, so they're more sensitive to negative emotion. Okay, so their ability to pick up emotion and discrepancies in their environment is heightened. It's a little superpower you guys have. So when someone ever calls you being too emotional, well, a part of that can be damaging. There's also another part of it that's also one of your greatest gifts. And I've reframed it when Danielle, how did people used to talk to you about your emotions? What did you hear?
You're too sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Take everything to heart. You're too emotional. You cry all the time.
And do you remember what I begun to say to you around that?
Yes.
What?
That my emotions show that I'm empathetic and I have a big heart.
Yeah.
I'm able to empathise and show empathy to other people.
So the thing that people criticized her for, I framed as her as a gift, as something that she was great at.
And now I love crying.
And previously, she would feel it get stuck in her throat, and she really found it hard to cry. That's you? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't cry for like 2 years. And this is someone that cried all the time.
I almost forgot that happened.
Yeah,
Tell them how often you express that emotion now.
all the time. But for good things.
Yeah.
Not just bad things. Mostly good, actually.
When you didn't cry for so long, did you feel like pent up with all this like energy that you had?
Yeah, I suppressed a lot. I suppressed a lot. That's when I was mostly in my masculine. I didn't cry. I went to the gym. I let it out in the gym. And I suppressed all of my emotion because I had to because of my job and the current, the previous state of my life. I had to suppress a lot. Or a part of me thought that I had to suppress a lot. So yeah, I didn't cry for like 2 years, and then I met Alexander, and it literally all came out of me, and still is, in a good way though. So that's why when Hayley was crying yesterday, I think that's beautiful because she's got a gift where she has a power to actually express herself and let it out. And
That's
a lot
right.
of people aren't able to let it out, and you hold it all in. And I've been that person that's held it all in for 2 years, when it just, you're just stuck. It builds. All of this built up energy, it gets stuck inside, and it will start to come out in other ways.
It leaks out.
Yeah. So I think it's great, and it's not to say if you don't cry, it's not good. Like, some people genuinely don't feel that they need to cry, and that's okay as well. But if you feel like you do need to express tears because you're feeling a certain way about something, then it's good to let it out. And you should never feel bad about it.
Thank you, baby.
It's crazy.
What would you say, Riley?
Notion is so crazy.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
I've been using it.
All right, can I get you back? This is crazy too, man.
I already wrote it down.
Yeah, you wrote this down?
I already got it.
My man. All right, these are the most powerful, very powerful self-talk statements. We're going to go through what yours are. A lot of you have been thrust into a reality that wasn't even of your choosing without awareness from your upbringing. So I'm gonna give you the tools and the awareness and the empowerment to create your own. You guys need to be very mindful about this language from now on. Like, you already were somewhat mindful. I need you to be hyper mindful, okay? And your clients too. It makes getting them results harder. It makes them getting results harder. Break it down. Bron. Now, I want to have an honest assessment. What's the T word? T word.
Tired.
Yeah. Can we just, there's no judgment. What's the most, who do you hear it from the most? And it can be yourself. Like, who do you hear say it the most? And how often?
Every minute of every day.
Right, all right.
How often? Like, literally in my check-ins every week. What's the biggest obstacle? Fatigue. Why? I'm fucking tired.
Right. And it has some oomph to it too with the fucking. Right?
I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have it every day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's one. Who else? Or what else?
I say all the time.
Do you guys have any awareness of how often?
Yes.
Yeah, like daily.
Daily?
Like
Cool.
multiple times a
Cool.
I've
Most
definitely
days.
started to recorrect it when I say it.
Okay, so you're working that awareness?
Yeah.
Right?
I notice it depends on my environment that I'm in. If I feel energized in an environment,
Mm.
even if I do feel, or a part of me does feel tired,
Nice, good.
it won't happen
Yep.
in that environment.
Like, I actually haven't felt tired here.
Oh,
But at school, someone will ask me, how are you sitting? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really tired. That's my first
that's,
thing.
yeah, wow. So, hi, nice to meet you. What was your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Tired.
Yeah.
All right.
I used to say it every single day,
Yeah.
and I meant to say it.
Oh, boy.
And what happened?
And now I've completely rephrased and reframe when I'm feeling that word. I change how I express it.
Right.
How do you feel as a byproduct of that?
So much better.
How do you
Not
express
as
it?
T word. I actually don't say it. I say TT now. TT. Yeah, I say I'm feeling a little TT. My body needs rest.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't say TT and I just say my body needs more rest.
And think about the emotional weight that carries and how different it is. You can still communicate. At least this is the thing. It's not about blunting the communication of your emotions. It's about communicating them more nourishing, more lovingly. That's a more feminine way. In a less way that fucks you. All right? I'm not going to say that to them. Right?
I like this split.
I love it.
They're all split.
Yeah, this is what happens. This is life.
Boys,
Yeah.
Oh, boy now.
Okay.
I'm feeling like a boy.
Come.
You can be whatever.
I know it's hard to relate to a world-class athlete, but if I show you what the successful people are doing, maybe you can connect that if he's doing this, or someone very successful is doing this, and they're already at the upper echelon, well, what chance do I have if I don't do something like this? So I just want to show you the insight to someone.
I like the athlete examples, to be honest.
Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
That's a fact.
He probably has every reason to actually say he's tired, right? Honestly, 82 game seasons, they play every day, they travel all the time across the country, even with world-class access to coaching staff and recovery. He has a family, sleep deprived, brutal on the body and mind. But do you think he's going to be more successful if he has this belief, or less successful? He's going to be more.
Way less.
He's going to be more likely to be successful if he has this belief of not.
No, he's going to be more successful if he believes only in the mind, he's going to be way more successful.
That's right. So you give yourself a greater chance to overcome the challenges of your day with a belief like this. You make your life harder by adopting this belief. So to take care of yourself, you take care of your language. Okay? So I want to say the T word. And trust me, the last few months have been quite challenging on my body and mind, right? She said she hadn't seen me like this in our time knowing each other, in preparing for a lot of the things we're preparing for. So I have every reason to say these words, but I know that I'm benefited and I owe it to you guys to show us my best self. And I can show my best self, and you can show your best self to your clients, your loved ones, your relationship, by speaking to yourself in a more nourishing, productive, constructive way. You don't even have to do it for yourself. You can do it for other people. You can do it for the ones you love, because it impacts them too. And when you go up and say, hey, how you doing? I feel T-word. That frequency and energy that you're speaking on, do you think that might have an influence on the conversation you might be about to have with that person? You think that might join you in the Tide Parade?
I've literally told myself I'm stopping it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
That's
I already know.
all right. I respect that. I know it's hard.
No, it's not.
Said it before.
It's in the heart, it's in the mind. No, actually though, it doesn't have to be hard.
I'll explain to you why I said that later.
Alright. I love it.
No T word, no S.
What's the S word?
S-I-C.
Sticky.
Yeah. I'll say that. Don't. Okay. This. Look.
Leave your words.
From here, in my coaching calls, do not come to me with this shit anymore. Okay? I understand that life can be very difficult sometimes and you definitely feel these things and your immune system's compromised. What I've done, all we do is we reframe, right? Instead of saying the S word, what can we say? Woo! They're listening. They're listening. Nice.
What if your immune system is constantly compromised?
I don't believe that to be true. Is your immune system compromised now, in this moment?
Probably my neutrophils are less than 2. That's compromised.
The ailment that you have, the neutropenia, right? Right. Okay. So, if you adopt that belief and that self-talk, like how could you reframe that self-talk to be a little bit more constructive or to be a little bit more nourishing?
So I know that my immune system, like I have the same chance of getting unwell.
Yeah,
as everybody else, but my body really struggles to fight things off.
Okay.
Because I have not many white cells.
Okay. Well, does it impact your day-to-day, like of how you feel about your body and your mood and?
Not how I feel, but I do notice, because it's cyclical, so I do notice that my fatigue is higher on the weeks that my neutrophils and white cells are lower.
When you do your bloods and you look at it and you kind of match up when your fatigue's low. Okay. Could we start here though? Because I don't need to maybe go all the way there to like the medical condition. Could we maybe start with this language and then maybe we'll get to that later?
Yeah. I'm going to try not to say the T word in every now.
That would be huge. That would be massive. It's not for me, guys. It's for you and the people around you. But yeah, I'm serious. Don't bring this anymore to me. Okay? I don't want to hear it. Reframe. Right now, my body definitely needs some more energy. Not right now, but like in the space in between I teach you guys, that's where this gives me energy and I just expel a lot. But instead of saying the T word, I'll say what I have to get. My body, you're going to need to communicate to people genuinely how you're feeling. So instead of saying the S word or the T word, my body is experiencing X and Y symptoms. It communicates them without the emotional weight. And then when you're with your clients, tell them and communicate to them, hey, this is how I would prefer and like you to communicate to me. You can say I'm dehydrated, or you can say
My body is in need of electrolytes.
sure. I need to get some electrolytes. I need to get some water. So these are some reframes for your self-talk. So examples. I'm not saying any of these, by the way. You're going to have to read them.
I am.
Don't say it. I'm just joking.
You know what? Good, Branson. I don't want that in my consciousness. Yes.
I'm not doing.
And then we have the flip. Finish that sentence. How would you finish it, Clem?
I'm doing weights.
You're-
Getting stronger as well.
Because you're weight training.
Yeah.
So you provide evidence to yourself. Okay? So when clients are going to say this stuff to you.
So small. I am losing jokes.
Anybody say any of this right now in the past version of themselves? Say any of this?
Yeah, past self.
Which one?
Probably number 1, number 3, the second last one, and then the last one.
And do you see the reframe? How technically speaking, this can be true, but that can be true as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not objective. You're not weak unless you compare to someone much stronger than you. So that's not what we're doing here. We're focusing on, I am working on, or what am I working on because, and then you give yourself evidence.
My partner says a lot of those.
These on the left?
Yeah.
You're welcome to send this to her if it would be helpful.
I think it would have heaps.
I actually had this conversation with my mum, who was just let go of her job just recently, and she was in this like spiral of negative self-talk, and it was actually impacting me. I was like, Mum, we can't keep doing this. I'm like, I really want you to just change the way you speak.
How was it impacting you?
I was like feeling, a part of me was feeling a little bit mizzy.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah.
I actually use that word a lot. So I was feeling, a part of me was feeling a little bit mizzy, very mizzy, to the part where it was impacting my work life as well.
Oh.
And I said to her, I was like, I want you to think of this as an opportunity. Like, how lucky am I to have some time off and exploring new opportunities?
Yeah.
Instead of her saying,
To
she's like,
reframe.
oh, I feel like I'm not worthy, I'm blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And I was like, we gotta stop this.
Right. So if this is a great example, if you felt mizzy, by the way, look at how everyone laughed when she said that. If Steph said the whole word miserable, it would just carry such a darker energy.
Mizzy. I've been using
What's
it
great.
for a long time.
I think the whole room does.
Bit better.
If you felt mizzy because of that's what your mum said, then what you guys and what you have to think about, Steph and everyone, is how do you think other people think and feel about you when you say your version of that in front of others? Your mum said her version of that. You're a human. You've had and said your version of that to other people. And you have to say, oh, if I felt that because my mum said that, what does this other person think and feel because I said that? They do not look at you as well.
Even on her first day, before she even went into this new workplace, she was still being negative, and I'm like, Mum, please, like, you're setting yourself up for a bad day. Like, I want you to go in with just an excitement to learn something.
Did it help at all, or was it a bit
Yeah,
hard?
she actually had a great day afterwards. She's like, oh, I had a really good day. I'm like, see what happens when you bring some positive light into the household, into the world? Shit happens. Good shit happens.
That's right. So look, you can send this to your client. You can send this screenshot to them, and you can give them some reframes for their self-talk, which is going to influence, like, think about what's going to influence their habits and behavior and adherence to even turn up to the gym. If they have this, their adherence isn't going to be as good. So language and psychology is your job. Any questions or thoughts or questions or just
Can you just give me one second?
support you need on this? Okay.
You can use AI to then write it their own sentences, and you can use the other ones to write the reframes.
No,
I love it.
write myself.
I think it's
Hold that, sir.
sorry about that. Apologies. It's brought a lot of awareness around how actually important it is, especially after seeing like Bill Buckner, like those
Nice.
examples. It makes me think about what I may have said in my life, and how that can even positively or negatively.
What is there one in particular? Like you said, yeah, Clem. Is there one powerful one in particular that you think you guys have said? Does anyone have like a Bill Buckner moment?
Oh yeah, I got a massive one.
Share it,
So-
and then go Jimena. Oh, the cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, the cancer one. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's wild.
With
I still can't like even process that mentally.
with soccer, I used to get. I got to a point where I started getting injured every season. I started getting injured every season, like multiple times a year, like serious injuries that would put me out for weeks. And then when I got this job at this physio strength and conditioning gym, my boss, well, you know Minas, I don't know if he did this on purpose, but he was like, we as coaches can't get injured. And I wanted the job so bad, I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get injured anymore. And ever since then, I've never faced injury. It was just like a crazy...
And you went from like 2-3 times a year,
Yeah, which is just feeling like...
and he instilled a belief that some people would call delusional.
Yeah.
We don't get injured over
When he
here.
said that, I was like, what do you mean I can't get injured? That's
Yeah.
not my control. But I just like accepted it. I was like, because he had like full
Wow.
authority over me. I think I just went like, okay. And then ever since then, it was kind of like accidental in a way. but it gave me like full proof that this works.
So now that that's possible, what else is possible? You know, I can't be poor. I can't be broke. It's impossible. If I had $0 in my account, it's still impossible. Oh, I kind of, not wish, but the example would be really, really powerful if that happened. And God had to teach me that lesson. And then I come back to you in 2 years and I'm like, yeah, this is what happened. Went to 0 and I came back and did 10 times more. We'll see. But the point is, like, what else is possible now? You think about that?
Yeah.
Like, what if with that level of conviction that you had that belief, okay, I'm not getting injured, that's it. Like, what if you had that same level of conviction with other things like money and impact and business and growth?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Seb?
I was going to say that as simple as just giving an example like this. Would you go further? Do you like question them like you've been doing in the last?
It depends how much time you have. If you're doing coaching calls, which you should, then, and if you see it being significantly detrimental to them and something that you don't think you'll be able to problem solve over a message or sending them a video, then I would dedicate time to it. If you perceive it to be getting in the way meaningfully to their habits and goals, you're going to have to make that judgment call based on the severity of the moment.
One thing I'm happy that I do really well is
Yeah.
I never have bad days. I've never ever in my life said I've had a bad day.
Great.
That's one thing I'm really happy with myself.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. Does anybody else have a version of that?
For me, it's hearing some of the more spiritual sides of things for people. Like my mum went and saw, had like a psychic reading. And for me, she said about one of the things that they brought up for me that I was going to have, apparently, these nagging shoulder and knee injuries in my future, which that's not going to be happen. That doesn't happen in my path and like just
Yes.
that sort of sides of things. Like knowing that I'm in the profession and whatever stuff, like my family had a hard time processing that sides of things, and where I stand on my path with that.
It reminds me,
I think that's that other video. I think
on my profile
yeah
of Brandon.
How it's like any sort of
I gotta show it.
if it's human design, if it's these other things.
Cool, Alex.
What's up? What do we see? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this one. Look.
BBC.
You can still believe in like spirituality and like horoscopes and things like that, but I'm just showing you the side of what Branson's talking about here. So just come with an open mind if you can and try.
You're trying to read my horoscope and shit. She was like, oh, you want me to tell you your sign and all this other shit? I can tell you, like, I can read your future. Like, you was claiming to be some sort of X-Men, I guess, right? And I was like, no, I'm cool. And she said, why? I don't understand. Are you afraid? I'm like, no, I'm not afraid. I know what's going to happen, bitch. Because the amount of effort I'm putting in, it's impossible for me to fail. It's set in stone. It can't not happen. And I'm going all out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm putting in this kind of effort. So I don't give a fuck about what the horoscopes say. I don't give a fuck where the moon is this month. I don't give a fuck where Mercury is or where the planets are. I'm going to win no matter what. I'm going to tell you my future right now. You let the losers worry about what the stars are doing this week. I wish a bitch-ass star would try to stop me. I'll fuck a star up. I can't lose. It's an effort. It's not because I'm special. It's not just because I'm so smart. It's not because I have some different talents. It's all because I'm gonna put in way more effort than what's required. She's trying to read my horoscope.
Can I read your caption? Can you go down a little bit?
King Keto.
Keto. Yeah, so obviously this motherfucker's not gonna fight a star or a planet, but look at that like level of what would be perceived as almost maybe grandiosity and almost arrogance, right?
Yeah.
But what happens with horoscopes from what I've seen is some people, particularly my sister, like you might look at a horoscope and you can nocebo yourself. You might start to see something that, oh, watch out for this because this is going to happen. And I believe actually that the planets, the stars exert an effect on us. I think, long story short, I believe it's incredibly arrogant to think that something like the moon that shifts the tides on Earth, like, does anyone think about that? You know the moon creates tides? The moon's up there. What the fuck? Okay, like science explains it, but I believe that it also probably has an effect on our bodies, right? But I believe it has a powerful effect. Right? But you gotta be mindful of that, because you're like, oh, the full moon, I might be feeling this and this and this. Like, yes, but just be careful. So you'll do it after. You might make a connection. Okay. But this is just the point. Level of conviction this man has is massive.
Wouldn't it be the horoscope, like the car analogy that I had, the RAS? You're already looking for that.
That's right.
So you're just gonna find it.
That's right, like a selection bias, yes. So that's what Branson point reminded me of.
As opposed to if you scroll up in the caption.
Uh-huh.
Just I don't give an F what a horoscope. Like even just the typo, I just wanted to point out that like ignore my mistakes. It's fine.
Did you find a typo?
Yes. Yeah, it's like
I literally read that and didn't even see it.
Oh, really?
Wait, what's the first thing I saw?
About one post on
It says,
Yeah.
it says, yeah, there's two words I can't, sorry. There's two words that I have seen him spell wrong. Says and intention.
If I get to live, if I get to, yeah, it's funny.
It's intention.
Intention.
That's how he spells it.
I thought
Says is
competition.
like says.
Says.
I don't know.
Look, every superhero has his kryptonite. You know, no superheroes are perfect. So look, if I have to misspell some words every now and again to live my life, I'll take it.
speed.
You like that?
Good luck.
I noticed on the.
I can imagine Alex typing like this.
It's true. I type with a vigor unmatched to all. I can't wait till I get the neural chips in my brain.
I noticed on the LMS that you've got advanced psychology therapies.
I'm all about the therapies. There's therapies. We talk about therapies. I make my own words, design my own reality. I'll fix that.
You're going to touch base on a neurotrip thing later on. I want to ask you about that philosophically and ethically and spiritually. But anyways, please continue.
Yeah, that's a big one. I'd love to talk about that. Yeah, sign me up.
She bad. In a good way.
I can't comment. I'm here for the language. Look, read her mouth. I'm gonna run it back again. It's the most pressure. I think she hit it. I think that's at the gold medal world record, right? Now, I'm gonna pause it now. Look at that self-talk. Crazy. I love those moments. Those moments like that can make me cry. Like I really feel them. Yeah? Yeah, right. Oh. But just look, so much pressure. Look, she looks anxious, doesn't she?
Yeah, she looks fucking.
So you motherfuckers think that anxiety is bad, but she's using that anxiety. Sorry, I say motherfuckers. Some people tell me I use motherfucker too aggressively. But Danielle says that. It's all love. Okay.
I like it.
Thank you. Okay, great. All right, motherfuckers. But see, that's me. That's me though, right? So like, just allow yourself to be you. Like, hopefully we'll put things like this out, and the next video I make, the hook will be motherfuckers. So the language, like she's clearly anxious, but she's programming her mind. Sprint, right? Exactly. And so when
Good anxiety and bad anxiety.
distress and eustress, beneficial stress and harmful stress. So let's.
I can imagine. Think of all the time she's put into that. She could easily see that as harmful stress, but you can see she's actively using it to like.
That's it.
That's fine. Like even watch her run, like you can just see the effort. You can tell she's like channeling it.
And she's predetermined it. Keep running down the track, right? And you think, why does she have to say this? She's done this a million times, right? She's
bigger there.
yeah, absolutely. And her performance was what it was, I truly believe, partly because of her language and self-talk and belief there. Whereas if she didn't say anything or if she said something negative in her head, we wouldn't be watching this video. I truly believe that.
Get gold?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
She broke both of
She broke a
them.
Fell over. She broke River while falling over. Maybe she landed straight. She didn't fall. If she hadn't have fallen back a little bit.
I think it's just the first point of contact.
She fell back though.
Just let's watch it again.
Well, let me see it again.
What do you got a long jump expert over here?
I feel like she fell back. Oh no, she didn't. No, she didn't.
You'll stop that, man.
I love seeing the one of the most
In that moment, I was wrong.
I can't remember what country they were from. I feel like it's maybe the UK. And it was a husband and wife. She was either a long jumper or a triple jumper. And he's also an athlete, but he was up in the stands and like had her and he was like, you've like worked so hard for this moment, you've got to like go for it, just do it. And was hyping her up. And then I get so emotional
Yeah.
talking about it 'cause it's fucking sick.
I know.
And she won gold and then he won gold.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the ultimate power couple.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I can't remember.
I feel that. You can describe the scenario in ChatGPT and hopefully it'll give you an answer.
There's also that.
Okay, let's see.
But I need.
Rio 2016.
Who doesn't like clowns?
Jimena.
Jimena, look. How do you say clown in Spanish?
Payaso.
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 Ah.
Clown.
All right.
Clano.
When you guys have checked out, let me know. We're not too far from being done.
Tiana Baralata.
Psychological operations.
Baralata.
There's a military branch in the US that specifically focuses on this.
Perfect.
And so
I'm explosive, I'm powerful, I'm a champion.
I didn't know that. Oh yeah. Oh, you know about this?
Well, I don't know about it. I've heard.
You've been exposed to it? Yeah, I've heard Rogan talk about that.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah.
You let me know when Riley's done. Sim, you let me know when you guys are good.
We're watching the one I was.
Could you put it in the Discord? And I can show people later. Sapiano, what was it again? Payaso. That's very off. Payaso. So this is a Sayap Payaso or Payaso Sayap. So anybody heard the term Sayap before? No. It's technically called a psychological operation. I'll explain to you what that is in a second. It's a way of manipulation where words can manipulate. So technically, this is the definition, and I'll tell you how it relates to you in a second. You must be aware of the manipulation that is around you, so you can thwart it. Thwart it. Thwart means to reject or avoid. A strategic communication tactic employed to influence and control the perceptions, emotions, and behaviors of people, which I'm trying to do to you guys, for your benefit.
So you say.
So I say.
That happens to me on a daily basis.
Mm.
And I don't like it.
Okay, we will see.
Just kidding, by the way.
I trust you.
Just kidding, by the way.
But then I feel like I'm actually being manipulated.
I'm going to think about that one. Politics, media, military, social media, marketing. You don't get taught this in schools. Governments are not incentivized to tell you about how the mental traps that are being played on you. You must be aware. You must be aware. The 48 Laws of Power does probably one of the best jobs at helping you understand how you're being manipulated by your environment and people. Yeah, he's probably my favorite author. So, this is a North Korean poster that is used as propaganda to influence. What's funny?
She goes, that's clever.
Well, this says, are you playing the game at catching? I was gonna make it. Yeah, I was gonna make a joke. This is what I meant. Are you playing the game at catching these guys? Okay, this propaganda that the North Koreans are using against the US. A child isn't born hating. No one is born with hate. It is taught. You guys really connected with that one. Yeah. So you understand that it's not just hate, it's a lot of the feelings and thoughts that you have. And so this is the form of propaganda. So, okay, if North Korea, obviously a dictatorship, may be a bit of an outlier, but okay, if they do it, is it possible that other people can do it? Yeah, it is. This is during World War I. This is a poster, a US poster, that was that was inciting and encouraging the US men to enlist in the fight against the Germans. So they depict the Germans here as brutish, like an ape. And why do you think they've put a woman here? Pardon me? Yeah, particularly back during the early 1900s, men were very not only patriotic but very traditionally protective. Strong family unit, protecting women, and was a cornerstone of the values of an American.
What does the stick say that is holy?
I looked it up. It's something German. You can look it up in ChatGPT. I looked it up. It wasn't particularly noteworthy for me to do.
The stick destroys mad brute.
No, it says
No, I'm trying
Kulta.
to understand what's it right. What
You just say kulta, translate culture. Yeah, that's why I thought. I'm like, okay.
Is
Thank
that,
you.
is that who wrote that? Is like Americans?
Yeah. Because they're depicting the Germans in an unfavorable way to help the Americans enlist.
How's that depicted as a German?
Well, it's a symbol.
They're trying to show that they're a monkey?
Yeah, they're like Bruce, they're like barbarians.
They're barbaric, and they're going to take their women, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you make someone look like an animal, particularly a primitive animal, you do dehumanize them. And so, what's going to trigger a man's emotions? Well, you don't take what we prize, and we prize and love and care for our women, for our wives, for our mothers, and so.
You've got to remember too that this is a very different time in humanity.
Yeah.
And like conscription, all the things. And they were also trying to build propaganda.
That's right. So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You say, oh, North Koreans are bad. Well,
Yeah. But
America tried to manipulate you too.
The Germans, Nazis were also doing the same thing.
That's right. It goes both ways all the time. Okay? And so they were trying to manipulate for their agenda. And their agenda was to enlist them so they could go to war and win. What do we have next? This is probably one of the most relevant ones to you guys. So what does this refer to?
Weed.
Right. So this was a movie, and reefer was another term for weed, and they depicted, I can't remember what year this was, decades ago. They depicted marijuana as something that caused men, and they even used minority populations like African men, mixed race, minority men, that when they were on it, they would do heinous things. They would sexually abuse women. They would be criminals. And so they made this propaganda against weed. And you're saying, why would they do that? Was weed actually harmful? Well, we know now that marijuana, I don't think there's ever been, there might not be a recorded death case from marijuana still, which is incredible.
Very rare that people become psychotic from it.
Yeah, they usually have to have some type of previous illness, right?
Marijuana is a Mexican word for it. Well, it sounds Mexican as well.
Yeah?
And a lot of Mexicans smoked it.
Oh,
And,
there, marijuana.
No.
Marijuana. Okay. Yeah. And you have to ask, what's the agenda here? Well, Harry Ansella, have you heard of the story of why what helped get weed criminalized?
I think I've heard of it, yeah.
Right. Well, this guy called Harry, he made papers, it was newspapers, and the materials he was using were made of a certain material, and it wasn't hemp, and hemp is partly related to marijuana, and so as a result of, there was this competition where, hemp was being discovered. It was a much more efficient material to use for things like newspapers and things like that, and that would be, as a result of this booming new market, it would significantly affect his business and ability to make money, and so as a result of him and this big business he owned, he started creating all this propaganda, and they used research that wasn't even real research, and they fictionalized a story and a narrative against weed, basically to preserve themselves and maintain their business and make money. And this halted research, and this similar thing has happened to psychedelics. This has halted the use of marijuana for decades, and only now are we starting to realize that. So here are 3 examples that cross time. These are just 3. When you walk out there are hundreds and thousands. When you open your phone, you have to start to be discerning and ask, what is the agenda? What is the reason that someone could have towards communicating a certain messaging to you? Everyone has an agenda, including me. Okay, I want to make money too. I want to help you. My agendas are multifaceted. So these are versions of PSYOPs. A very big one of the most recent ones. We're not going down this rabbit hole, it's too much. But Kevin Bass, very reliable PhD. Why did world leaders lie about the COVID vaccine? In clinical trials, it did not reduce infections by 100%, but leaders said it did, and decades of research showed weak vaccine immunity for coronaviruses. Why do censorship advocates ignore misinformation from the government? And this video is basically showing how Sleepy Joe, yeah. This video just shows how they say one thing and the opposite thing happened. Well, not the opposite, but it's something very different. So, where's my mouse? Come on, Joe. You might not play. She's still running.
You're okay. You're not gonna get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Hey folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID.
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Dr. Fauci says he has COVID again.
If you've done the right thing and gotten vaccinated, you deserve the freedom to be safe from COVID-19. And this morning, I learned I tested positive for COVID-19 as well.
3 doses that were prevented not just from serious illness, but from getting this virus, this Omicron variant, and therefore giving it to others.
Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is in court.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah, I want to see his face.
Yeah, it's very triggering. Look, so if you want...
This is bullshit, though, isn't it?
Huh?
This is blatant bullshit.
Long story short, in many ways. And if you guys want to go deeper into it, we can later. But for now, it's one of the most recent examples. And this cost millions of lives too. Iraq War. They thought Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, right? You know what happened in the end? He didn't. No, it was not only bad information, it might have been fictionalized information to give them reason to go in.
When Trump pulled all the troops out of
Was it
Iraq and
The Afghanistan one, I think, was Biden. The most recent one was Biden. Yeah, that was a mess.
So they left all of their weapons of mass destruction in the fucking country.
And now the Taliban have it. Now ISIS have it. Now terrorist groups have it. Yeah, it was. So, yeah, exactly. Like the decision he made that other people made. So, this one cost millions of lives, and there's a documentary on it. And this is all known information. This isn't conjecture. This isn't conspiracy. Okay. And it manipulated the public to be in support of the war, which then supports certain politicians and their how do I say, agenda, but just their popularity. So many examples of this, and I wanted to give you some popular ones, because if this is happening on this scale, right, what is happening now that you may not be aware of? What's happening when you open your phone and when you go out there? So this influences your behavior. It influenced wars. It influenced millions of deaths. You don't think it's going to influence your money, your belief systems, how you operate day to day? This.
Ukraine and Russia.
Oh.
That's probably one of
Yeah, that's really messy, that one too.
Does that influence like petrol? Like we think we're so removed from it.
Yeah, but we're not.
Our fuel price.
That's right. Yes. So, it's all around us. But there's a psyop of the mind, and that's what you tell yourself. I don't know, did anybody hear conversations like this during the pandemic? What do they say to you?
I was at a gym with like full of old people, so it's funny because like older people, because they get their media from mainstream media, they get psyoped really easy. It feels like like a lot of them will have like just have like opinions the day after something happened, and you just know it's because they saw it on 7 News the night before. It's just
And then what's their agenda? Like, who are they getting paid by? Like, look, I'm not saying every human has malice intent, like destructive, harmful intent, okay? But I'm saying everybody has the potential to have it. And it comes through the communication of words through media. And these are some of the things that people said. Now's not the time to take risks. People won't spend the fitness during the tough times. It was actually during this time, in the beginning of this time, that I started to make more money and made more impacts and more growth than I ever did in my life.
I don't think I've ever had more money than I did in COVID.
Well,
So I would still work. I was in pharmaceuticals, so I would still work. So
was that from government aid? You're saying that, like, because everybody got a bit of government aid? Is that why?
I was just working for my normal, like a normal. So I actually was gonna take a gap year and then decided to not. Obviously, because I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I went into
Actually, I don't need this.
factory working in pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
It was an industry that obviously couldn't shut down. And I was one of the lucky ones who was working full time. So I had all this money that I didn't spend.
So there was an opportunity in that adversity.
And then I did go to university because I was like, well, what else am I going to do in this time? And then I got the government. So I was like, well, what was the money I got?
Mm-hmm. So that's perhaps fortune, perhaps timing, perhaps choice that put you in that position. Now, if you focus on the external narratives, like what they said during the pandemic or what they say to you now, you're just a coach, you're just a PT, you can, whatever they say to you. You might be influenced to doubt or abandon what you set out on. But that's not things that you're saying, that's things that other people are saying to you. And so I need to teach you guys some basic critical thinking. And you should write this down because it's going to serve as a framework for you to understand how do I believe what someone's telling me and who should I believe and what should I believe. Your clients are going to ask you that same thing. I'm very overwhelmed. What do I believe? I'll give you a little insider. First, you need to ask who. Who's saying this information? 7 News. Okay. CNN, even Rogan, Trump, me, because that's the order it goes. It's Rogan, it's Trump to me.
I love you put Rogan first.
Right? You know, he has a lot of influence too. So, who are they trustworthy? Oh, wait. And one reason why the news and media is not trustworthy is because you can find virtually unlimited examples of them manipulating and lying. Lying actually for malicious intent, or rather, disinformation. Does anybody know the difference between misinformation and disinformation? You remember?
Bending the truth, is it?
Misinformation is like maybe unintentionally
Yeah.
correct, whereas disinformation is intentional.
Perfect. Absolutely. That's real. I'm really glad you know that. So you might accidentally misinform a client. You do your best, but you might accidentally maybe this fruit is not the highest in this nutrient. Oops.
And it's funny that when you hear on the news about everything, you always hear the word misinformation, you never hear disinformation. It's like they always try and play it off as, oh, we didn't know that it was misinformation. But had they used the word disinformation, I think a lot of people would definitely view mainstream media as like, no, definitely not trustworthy. Because I didn't know the difference between mis and dis until now.
Right.
So when she said mis is unintentional, I think everything that they did in that time especially was intentional.
Yeah.
So that, to me, isn't classified as misinformation.
Right. That would be dis. And had you been communicated that by someone like them, you would have known. But
And it's funny how when they're trying to pass the misinformation bill in Victoria, it wasn't the disinformation bill, it was misinformation. But misinformation wouldn't intentionally be causing harm. So why would you not pass something about disinformation?
that's a thoughtful comment. Yeah. That's a great question. Now you're thinking.
They don't want to be held accountable.
Yeah. See, maybe we all need to move. If that's what Victoria's going to be like.
Yep. Well, a simple one to ask when you have parents or people around you. When you have parents or people around you telling you to do things, saying, really insisting that you live a certain way, a simple thing to follow.
They're a good judge.
Yeah, it's fine. Is
You sure? They're flat. You better keep it. It wasn't even charging. Yeah, it's not charging.
there's one plugged into the power board, Riley.
Russ got money. Can I borrow a charger, King? You're full. Get the full charge.
All right. Why would you want to adopt the thinking of someone you don't want to be like? I just don't understand this. I think a lot of you accidentally do this. You start to adopt the thinking and take opinions and advice from people that you genuinely don't want to be like. I understand. I totally believe in being respectful to your elders and parents. But if they're giving you advice in areas that they haven't shown proof and evidence for being better than you or good at, you're probably not taking good advice. Sorry, Mum and Dad. Where's the opportunity in adversity? There's always an opportunity to make money in times of adversity. Someone is. A lot of people made money during the pandemic. A lot of people. A lot of people lost, a lot of people gained. It's like a coin. It's just a practical example, reframe. If someone's telling you that the coaching industry or the health industry is not going to work during a certain time, people don't have their health, they have a tremendous amount of pain in the amount of the time.
I was even going to say, obviously you mentioned about how your business took off around this sort of time as well.
Mhm.
But like athletes authority was similar too, like how they built all of their stuff, like getting to focus on that different stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think it was your mum or someone that was with a job at least of being able to do those different things and pivot on that if you think outlast that for sure.
Exactly. So that's another example. Critically think, perspective, reframe, implement. And you're welcome to use your own examples as well if you really want to challenge yourself here. Or you can use GPT, aka chat. There's more on this in the LMS. Type in critical thinking and you'll see it in there. I give a whole full framework.
I really liked your podcast you did with Ben about critical thinking skills.
Oh, yeah?
That was really cool.
Thank you. You heard that too?
I was in all the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, so
They're super informative.
You know what? I love this. This is a point. I want to pause on this. Please listen to this. So have you listened to many of them?
all of them, yeah.
Before you met me? Or before you,
Yes, yeah.
you did Trinity?
Yeah.
After I think I messaged you and I started, I just went through and did research on you.
Ah, okay. That's not, okay.
Definitely before.
Before?
I think it's when I booked the call and I researched who you were.
What I'm trying to demonstrate, okay, that's two there. I'm trying to demonstrate is, let's say you put out a YouTube video or a video and it only gets 100 views or 50 views. Some of you might judge that. It's like, oh fuck, I didn't do too well. Out of those 50 people, because Catabasis doesn't have tens of thousands of views, out of those 50 people, you two of them watched most of them, right?
We have watched all of them nearly. Even on your personal.
All of them. And you're here. So I don't need thousands of people. You don't need thousands of people. You just need to make good enough content that goes deep enough and connects deep enough. Because the conversion rate on that podcast now, no, it's not just that podcast. It's the 200 pieces of content you guys have seen is so much higher. But if you judge them just by metrics, you would say, you might call it a failure. And I want to make this point because you might look at my page and be like, what, you could say, oh, he's got 4,000 whatever followers, or you could say he's only got. Cool.
I actually was saying, so I had a conversation with my manager, Josh, who he claims that he knows you from something.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, he's only got 4,000 followers. And in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, little do you know.
It's 4,000 more than you, boo.
Yeah, literally. And I was like, as if you're going to judge someone on a metric like that. Like, you don't know anything that he does in his own personal life and his business. Like, there's so many other things to this picture, and you're only focusing on the fact that he's only got 4,000 followers.
Who said that?
One of my managers, who apparently, I don't know if he went to uni at the same time as you. I don't know where he knows you from.
I don't
Who
know.
was it when we did a group video call? I think we
Yeah, do it.
found him.
Jerome.
Oh, the one I put the picture of him in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Okay.
I don't even know him.
It was funny because we were talking about I don't know, social media and converting, and he's like, "Oh, Alex has only got 4,000." Okay, cool. And
Thank you. I appreciate you and you guys defending the principle in me. I appreciate that. The point about this is cool. I'm very grateful for, that's a lot of people. That amount of people in a room, holy fuck. Like that's,
Well, I always think of it like.
yeah. Because we're comparing it to like, just go on any page and you can see a 6-figure amount. Yeah. It's just like, holy shit.
Straight to my gym.
I feel like I saw it in the
And
background.
Mark Carroll, they come in every week at the same time to film content.
Yeah.
I watch them all the time.
Don't look at them. We don't need them.
Come back to me for a second. You see the point. 4,000. It's a lot to some, it's not much to others. But with those 4,000, you should be very curious and wonder, how has he made the equivalent money and impact of someone who has 100,000 followers? What I'm trying to say is, and I really don't want to state this arrogantly, I just want to state it with maybe some curiosity of like, ooh, that's possible? I thought about it, I'm like, there are people with followings of 50 to 100 plus thousand followers. And they make the same money as I do. But I don't need their following. I don't need that many people. My conversion rate, my ability to impact and build relationships is 10x what they have. And that's a beautiful thing, because there must be something that I'm doing that is developing such depth of connection with people for me not to need hundreds of thousands of followers and to have a business and a revenue that is likened to someone who has hundreds of thousands of followers. That's the point. Jerome, I don't know whatever his name, Jeff, whatever his name was. Well, I'm serious, I actually don't remember. I don't know if I make more money than him. I probably do, but that's not the metric I'm trying to compare against. But in this point, if that's the game he wants to play, that's cool. I probably make more money with less followers than him or his business. Isn't that more impressive? No. No, I haven't. That's even more impressive.
It was like my first coach, she had what? Couple, like, not a couple thousand, sorry. She had like tens of thousands of followers. My coach, Christina, the one that I like adore, she only had like 3,000, which I still think is a lot. But like the impact that she left was like,
there you go.
Two ends of the spectrum. And I was like, wow, it really puts into perspective, like you can have whatever, but it doesn't mean shit.
Right. You can appear wealthy, but not actually be wealthy. Not just fiscally, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
And
knowledgeable as well. Like, you obviously have created a very big like space for everyone that has so much information and so much knowledge condensed that you wouldn't be able to find maybe for someone who's got 100,000 followers who doesn't have something like that.
that's right.
They
So
didn't even know the people they're coaching.
Yeah.
Because it would just be a big, broad, like,
Right.
3-week challenge that all these people go into. And then they just have workers doing it all for
it's like a fucking
yours. Like
Nike
actual
factory.
connection.
A lot of these people don't actually write their
They wouldn't, not at all.
programs.
Like, they just kick back and...
Yeah. And that's one way you can do a business like that, or you can have a version of what this is. So I want to show you that to inspire you guys. Like, oh, you mean you don't need all these followers? No, you don't. 30 people paying you $80 a week and you got 100K, right? That's not all about the money, but it's just an example of what's possible.
What if you had both?
Both what?
What if you had a massive following? What do you think that would be able to do for you?
It depends on the mission. People think they want fame, but there's a cost to fame. And you guys don't know. I have channels and other videos with, you're nodding, you've seen it, with 40, 50,000 subscribers and a couple of videos with a couple million views and hundreds of thousands of views. That's cool, whatever, right? But there's a cost to fame, and that's exposure. Exposure has a cost, and the cost is also to your loved ones around you. So I don't know if I even want that. I would rather, and also, let's say a man like, you guys know of Andrew Tate. It doesn't matter what you think about him for a second here, but he was saying a lot of the things that he's been saying on previous podcasts before he got famous. Then he got really famous and a target got put in his back, and all of a sudden he's in jail. So I'm mindful of, I'm about to speak a lot more vocally and authentically and courageously now. And so I don't know if I even want that. I'm much more focused on impacting all of your lives than trying to attain some type of number. I just want to build Trinity to be the best experience it can be. That's my focus. And if that means that God and the universe gifts me with more awareness, then okay, that's the plan. And if it's not, that's okay too. The point is, you don't need a big following to make an impact, be successful, make money.
Where's that girl? What did you sent me? I've got an Instagram account with like what 5,000 followers, but she was generating like heaps of revenue.
I think was that Hormozy talking about it?
No,
Alex Hormozy? Yeah, it was the dietitian.
No,
I
who's
think.
that person who talking about the other day in the car?
Shelby Saad.
Yeah, that one.
Like,
Is it?
I'm not familiar.
I don't think that. I think that's a bit better.
Excellent.
So what you were saying just before about social media, someone like Mark Carroll, like, he's one of the most unhappiest humans I've ever met in my
really?
life.
What's up?
He has borderline personality disorder and suffers a lot with social anxiety. He's very open about that, so that's not like private information.
Yeah.
But he participates in behaviours that do not help his mental health in any way, shape or form, and then gets on social media and moans about like, oh, my content's not being engaged with, and then.
He does that publicly?
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. It's actually so
What
chat.
behaviours does he do? Like fairy dust or?
Very does.
She doesn't want to say.
This isn't like going to be shared.
Just say it privately if you don't want to. Yeah, it's fine. It probably things like that.
Yeah.
Fairy dust is good.
Yeah, but so he like will brag about I don't drink because it's bad for my mental health, but then does other things.
Classic.
People cope. People find cope.
Yeah.
To cope. All right, let's bring it back. This one. Anybody grow up in a household like this where they said things like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Does that influence the way you've looked at your relationship and felt about money? Yeah.
In the opposite way, yeah.
In the opposite way?
Because mum's always like, if it's small stuff that she doesn't reckon is helpful for me, no matter how cheap it is, she won't really buy it. But if it's stuff that she reckons will benefit you, no matter how expensive, she'll buy it.
Okay, that's actually, so she has a principle that is critically thought out. So if it confers a great value to you, she'll help you invest in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Still to this day?
Oh, I don't need her anymore for now, I'll try not to.
Okay,
Yeah,
but she would be there for you if you needed.
Yeah, and that principle's instilled in me as well.
Oh, great.
So,
Well, that's okay. That's probably what made Trinity, I assume, a clearer choice to you.
100%.
Yeah. Good. Well done to your mother for that. So this is a psyop. This is someone teaching you your relationship with money. You didn't choose this. This has influenced you. And you might have these beliefs, like money. I'm not going to say it. I don't believe it. Money's like rain. Just go where it's raining.
Yeah.
It's raining everywhere. This building, this Airbnb, I gave this place thousands and thousands of dollars. These guys are making money from me. Shit. I kind of get pissed sometimes.
That's sick.
What?
They own this place.
Right?
So sick.
Look how good this is. So,
you're gonna steal something from here.
right? So there's money everywhere to be made. This is my point. It's in abundance. It's in great abundance. And then it's going to influence your beliefs and your actions, like avoidance, hesitating. Oh, I don't know if I should do coaching. This is why it's benefits you to talk about money with your clients. Once you develop a good relationship yourself. So just be aware. It's not you. This is not you anymore. This is a programming that you got exposed to as a young child because of parents or upbringing or culture or society or media.
Can you keep those page for Alex as well, please?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Yep.
So basically, and to like show away for the next slide, I guess we'll have you have a caveat to this, won't you?
I'll expand on it.
Okay.
And then you can talk. Hey?
Hang on. Apparently I'm not a fast typer. Apparently I'm not yet.
So like fleet fees, instead of say like for a small child.
Yeah.
And you take it to the shops and they're like, I want that Barbie or I want that like truck or whatever voice please.
Can be Barbie.
Would a more
Can be Barbie. does.
You do, boo. Would a good way to like flip that way of talking instead of saying we can't afford that, like I've seen people take photos of their kids with the toy and they'll say we'll send it to Santa and Santa can
That's
have a look
actually
at your
great,
list.
yeah.
And then that also gives you the like, I've got that as a like wish list thing for them for their birthday or for Christmas.
Right. So to not program that, even though that they might feel that, to not program that in them, they might have a strategy like that.
Yeah. Is that like a healthy thing?
I think it's a healthier thing than this.
Yeah.
I have a whole thing on parenting in my notes, particularly on how to develop a healthy relationship with money. And so I actually have something I can give you. If you remind me later, I can send it to you. But I'll be mindful of pulling on this. Let me send it to you and then we can follow up on it. An idea like that is definitely healthier.
What if they know Santa's not real? Stuck. Used to buy
Make up others.
Santa Tooth Fairy.
I'm good, by the way.
So you have to understand that these thoughts, you don't have to write every single word here, but think about it. Negative suggestions, arrow. Absorbed, arrow. Ingrained into thought patterns, arrow. Decisions, behaviors. What's the fix? Must reprogram. This is just what we've said before. You see okay, by the way? All right. Recognize the distorted belief. Replace. Environment. Sorry. I got it. My bad. You good? And the next we're going to go into a practical. And we will shortly end after that. Good job, guys, on staying focused and attentive.
The caffeine helps.
Yeah. I will buy you all the caffeine. Like I will, if all of you, like if it helps.
Seems like yes.
No, I love my coffee.
Santa Saad.
Santa Saad.
I actually really like that. Yeah, that's good.
Coffee brand. Straight to Saad Cafe.
Yeah. It has, what is that, a magnesium like sleep thing, sleepy Saad.
Sleepy Saad. Sleepy.
Get some words like, steroid side.
The dark side.
The dark side. The dark side.
The dark side. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
You could be Celsius Saad.
You can have your own sauce brand.
Chelsea Saad. So this is great, guys. I'm going to hire each of you to create a subsidiary business, and you take 50% of the profit share.
Let's go. I hope you're serious about that.
One more time.
Mexican
Mexican sado.
Sado.
Yes. When I go to Mexico, I am Mexican sado. I adopt that personality. I have the hat, and I ride it on a horse, on donkey.
I don't have a Sado in Mexico, do they?
Not really. Like we have it, but it's not.
You're
It's
gonna
not
have to
good
go
at claiming
somewhere
anything else.
for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a kid at my school called Saad.
I like him. He's a good kid. So, we've brought awareness to this. That's what we did the exercise before. Then we have to replace that belief with the constructive one. We're working through that self-talk and having the evidence against it and reframing it a bit before, and we'll continue to do that together, and you'll continue to do that yourself. Then, look at this piece. This environment we're in. Changing environments. We're obviously all talking to Clem about changing environments. Could be a relationship. Could be you moved from Peru to Melbourne. Amazing. You're in, a very prosperous environment. You're going to go back and you're going to give back. hiring a coach and health professionals and people that are much more successful than you was very impactful for me. It helped that my mentor, one of them, was revenuing millions of dollars, right? It's like the next level and layer. See what's possible. So now we're going to go see how you guys have been psyoped. This is one of my favorite quotes. Every word that comes out of your mouth is self-hypnosis. I think you should write that down. I know you should write that down. Every word that comes out of your mouth is self-hypnosis. Anybody been hypnotized before? You have been? Oh, that's right, for your hair.
Yeah.
And how was that?
Good. Yeah, like I did some sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair.
Yeah.
Hair pulling.
Hair pulling, like it's
Oh, I thought you meant like hair growing.
non-stress.
Fem's like, what do I?
No stress, Clem.
Non-stress or no stress.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, she just, it was really nice. Very relaxing.
Okay. Every word that comes out of your mouth is self-hypnosis. Okay, it's dinner. Every word that comes out of your mouth is self-hypnosis. I haven't repeated anything 4 times in this entire retreat. There's a reason I'm repeating this one. If you believe this, you will be so much more diligent with the language you use. But it is true. Bill Buckner, he's an example.
Evolving experience. You know, that's one thing.
Yeah, most of the drugs you do are most ego enhancing.
Right, like Coke.
Yeah, you're like, oh, the baddest mother. You're just gone, man.
Yes, it's like a guess for someone like me from the outside.
It's just really interesting. I used to look at it, think about this young kid from Brooklyn, New York, comes to Custom Auto at 13, 12, you know, and all of a sudden, I have a low self-esteem. This guy gives me this big fucking ego. You know what I mean? I live by the, I live by the rules of that ego, and that's, I've accomplished so much.
And a dominator ego.
Yeah.
I just want to pause on that. You guys know Customato was Mike Tyson's coach. He basically made him into who he is because Mike didn't have a father figure until he met Customato. Customato took him in and treated him as like one of his sons, right? So Mike had a mentor. Mike had someone who programmed his mind to be who he is. Mike's about my height. He's a little bit heavier than me, a little bit bigger than me. His mind was way more powerful than his body, right? It's the power of a mentor, someone who programmed him. So what I am doing to all of you is trying to be your Customato and program the fuck out of your minds.
Yeah, right? You're set.
Oh, about destroying people.
Yeah.
Just anybody, you could be a lawyer, 200 pounds, I'm staring you down. It was a weird environment growing up that way. You know, because we as people, we try to avoid fights. You know what I mean?
Right.
From my instincts, we avoid fights for all our life. And just to be able, this is what you do. Like you're a UFC guy, you're a fighter. This is what you do for a job, a lifestyle. That's pretty bizarre.
But you were getting positive reinforcement from thinking like that for the first time in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I never felt like that before. But like taking a big drug like Lucy, just boom, you just felt like you're the man. Then everybody's telling you you're great.
Yeah.
You know?
For the first time in your life.
Never understood that. And you know what else Customato used to do with me? He used to take me to a hypnotist. He was a hypnotist as well. Yeah, I used to go in the hypnotist motions.
What kind of shit do they make you do?
You know,
how they do it?
You relax, you go under, you totally focus on blackness, nothingness.
Right.
You go under and you're just being a savage, intelligent animal. You're just working, you're gonna do this, you're a ferocious animal, you're gonna fight, put both hands to the body, you're gonna use your jab, you're gonna do this in ferocious fashion. And they seeked all that in me as I was younger.
And you were like 12, 13 years old?
Yeah.
Wow. So they're putting you under and just teaching you that mindset.
Yeah.
Whoa. Did he give you any advice on how to shut?
It's programmed. Did you hear the words and the affirmations? Like, you're going to jab like this, you're going to fight like this, you're going to do this and do that. You're an animal, you're a monster. The task is the job, and the task is the only mission. So he was being programmed and hypnotized to be a certain way, and eventually became a world, obviously, champion boxer and athlete. But Mike was just a boy, a teenager, and he was arrested so many times as a kid. There was a lot of crime around him. There was a lot of death around him. He didn't have a stable upbringing, but until he met his mentor, Cuss, and he had someone to program and reprogram his entire consciousness. And so this is the power of hypnotization, aka reprogramming your self-talk. And I'll show you. You guys might recognize this guy. So when I was doing Trinity X, I had a full-time live-in videographer, and he followed us around everywhere. I actually lost money on Trinity X, okay? Cost me over, I made a video about it, cost me over $25,000. Lockie did absolutely invest a lot of money into it, but it cost me more than it made me. And one of the upsides to me taking that risk was I was able to get a lot of content every day, every moment. And so this is me in Gleason's, and I have a certain ritual. None of this is fake. This is me doing exactly what I'm doing, okay? This is not for the camera, this is me doing what I'm doing. I thought it might be helpful to show you, before I spar and fight and train, I take it seriously, and kind of part of my programming, I'm visualizing right now things that I've been taught. That's why my head's moving. And then this, I'm reading off something here. These are my auto suggestions. This is what I've created for myself. And no. Yep. These are things I read every time, every morning, and yeah, it's not boxing. It's not directly boxing related. It could be something like, I am supremely calm, confident, and grounded. That actually is one of them. I'm supremely calm, confident, and grounded. Okay. I have some things about greatness. I have some things about my ancestry connection there and what I'm destined for. There's about 15, 20 points. And I'm programming my mind to elevate to a higher standard. Okay? So this is what you can do as well. And you will. You guys like diagrams? I made one for you. Check it out. Yeah, I got you guys. So, we're going to start here, the programming loop, as we finish off. Programming from upbringing. That's the I am statements you might hold. That's the self-limiting beliefs you hold. First, you need awareness. Through life and through this experience in Trinity, you're building a lot more awareness. Releasing limiting belief exercise. Is that you?
I don't know. I feel like I've got a shit ton of alarms that always run.
That's okay. I think it's probably your rescheduled calls. All right, I'll pause.
Yeah, it says client calls. That's true, remind me.
Yeah, I know you rescheduled them. All right, can come back to us, Riley. Thank you. Programming from upbringing, awareness, releasing limiting belief exercise. After that, following that, self-talk happens after that. After you believe something, you're going to have a certain way you talk. So awareness, we need to stop it and reshape that self-talk in order to reprogram. That, whether you keep that limiting self-talk, will shape your beliefs, or you reshape it and it changes your beliefs in a more constructive way. I believe I'm capable of this. I am this. That changes your behavior. Instead of being destructive, it's more constructive. It's more empowering. It's more nourishing. And that impacts your outcomes, your life, your destiny, your prosperity, your richness, your health, your wealth. You see it? This is the power within all of you to change your future. And it starts here. It goes to here. And this is an absolutely key part of it, how you talk to yourself and how you talk to others. Any questions or thoughts on this? Or comments?
Is this a pretty similar diagram to the thoughts become words become,
Yeah, it's just conceptualized in a visual with some nuance. But that's right.
Just more that top part, was it? Like with the actual exercise that we
That's right. Yeah, this and this. This is what we're here for.
Yep.
Right here. You can show this to your clients too. What's beautiful? I hope it's beautiful. I hope you guys realize it's not just for yourself. You got like a database of resources you can give to your clients, and I'd like you to give it to them. I encourage you to. Hopefully you credit me, but I don't need it. That's mostly just ego. All right, the last practical. So, I'd like you guys to write down your I am statements. Write them down. What do you say?
What we say to ourselves currently, or what we are changing our I am statement?
You know, while I didn't specify here, what I intended to speak is let's do both. I want the I am statements you currently are doing or have done, and ones you would prefer to do if you would like to change them. And you can do this by writing the I am statement, drawing an arrow, and then to the other one. Whoop. Should only take 5 to 8 minutes. Navigating, yes. That's good. That's constructive. What else do you guys have? I appreciate the commitment you guys are making for yourselves here. I can see your dedication. Oh, sorry, B, I didn't see you.
No, go.
No, you go.
One I didn't talk about before was, instead of saying I am a essentially someone that likes to do perfect things.
Good job, bud.
That I'm working on processing my thoughts.
One more time. I'm working on processing my thoughts. Right.
And response quicker. So rather than self-editing myself and just not saying stuff that I actually want to, that I'll take that time to respond how I want to.
Is there authenticity linked in that? Respond how you want to. What does that mean?
Well, as in, without, if it's me speaking or making content as the consistent example here, instead of trying to make it perfect, that I'm not defining myself by being perfect, because we're human. So it's like I'm working on trying to do things quicker, better.
Great. I see now. What do you need to do that? Do you need more courage? Do you need more conviction? Do you need more audacity? Dedication? Passion? What?
Depends on the context. Sometimes it's just deadlines or postponing conversations, as we talked about before.
But what do you need to have to not postpone that conversation?
Space. If there was lots of background noise and just lots of inputs, it can be difficult for me to express my output.
So space helps you.
Space for myself or for mental clarity.
That's good, now we're clearer. I would think about a way of how you could put that in there, because that helps you tie it in. I am doing this by creating space for myself. now I understand more.
So it depends on if it's like trying to get things 100%
Mm-hmm.
for a creative purpose, or if it's from a communication perspective. So it depends on what it is.
Okay.
So it's where that I could find that as multifaceted as a living thing, that for me to say and identify myself as that, the need and what that is, instead of its space, if it's like for creative stuff, for posting, once a week I'm like, no, I have to post something within it, like by this time. So I need to get something done by this deadline, and nothing after that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is different than communicating.
Okay, so it's two different things. All right.
But the self-talk is still the same, which is where it's deadly.
Deadly. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else? Oh, Haley, and then we'll go Clem. Thanks, Clem.
Are you sure?
I'm certain.
Thanks. One that probably stood out to me more was that I am worried that I will always carry the struggles of my past, and then reframing that into I am rewriting my story and creating a peaceful and free life.
That's beautiful. That's great. It's really nice. And
You didn't hear that?
no.
I said ChatGPT.
But do you believe it?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Yeah. I was like, ooh, that resonates.
if it resonates, it's good. You got to connect with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can edit it. And then if you're any of you are struggling to like connect with this, say I am because. Remember that. So you can add a because at the end. Because I'm taking initiative through therapy, through getting a coach and a mentor, through reading X and Y. What else?
Well, one thing I say a lot is like, I'm always late to things, or I'm always late. Like, how can I rephrase that?
Right, because now you've informed your language into an identity.
Yeah.
And it's much harder to change that way until you separate it. So first, you want to separate that's a past self now. You have to be able to see it as a different version of yourself. Makes it much easier to change. So that doesn't have to be today's Clement. That was previous to Clement. All right, number one. But you asked, how do I rewrite that?
Yeah.
It's the burnt toast theory, where something happens, you're running late, but you burnt a piece of toast, and the time that it takes you to make another piece of toast is the universe protecting you from something that would have happened had you left on time. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
like there's a reason why that you may be behind time. It's because it's the universe protecting you from something.
Yeah.
So had you left 5 minutes earlier, you might
Something bad could have happened.
X, Y, Z.
Now that
I agree with that.
for random things like missing flights, but what about Clem, who's like maybe consistently unpunctual and it's affecting his quality of life maybe, or relationships?
Yeah, or even just professionality.
Professionality, okay. Professionality? Yeah. Let's make it. Yeah, pressure, there you go. How could we, I like that way to reframe, but for this as a habit, how can we reframe that I am statement?
So we're trying to reframe to something positive.
I will be on time.
To the person you want to be.
I'm
Sorry,
respectful of other people's time.
I will be on time.
Yeah, that works.
It's more the action rather than the outcome.
I will prepare myself to leave on time.
I'm diligent with my time and preparation. What do you reckon?
How does that feel?
I feel like a gay when I say that. I never talk like that.
Right, how do you talk?
I'm always early.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to start.
But see, you're making a part commitment to that because you've been turning up earlier to the Trinity calls, right?
Yeah.
So what's that? What language are you using there? What's that sound like?
I don't use language, I just turn up.
No, but there's something you say in your head, right? There's something that you said after we had that first conversation. And if you had to...
You could say, I will make an effort to show up on time, or I will make an effort to show up early.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds cool, but like in reality, what's going on in my head is like, oh my god, fuck.
But that's what you've done though. You made an effort to change a habit.
Like, have you done your Google Calendar thing where you like time blocking everything?
Yeah, not lately, but I do kind of.
for important things, like say if it's work or Trinity calls, I set my notification for it for half an hour before. Or like say if I need to drive somewhere, I'll set my driving time 15 minutes, like so the notification goes off 15 minutes before, so I can quickly get my shit together, get in the car and go.
Like this practicality.
Yeah.
It's
like if I don't have things written down, or in my calendar, I will not remember them. It's where my brain's wired.
Good. Works.
So I need to have visual prompts to be on time and prepared.
So I can think of one, I don't know if this resonates with you, reframe it how you see fit. I'm becoming a more punctual I'm becoming a more punctual person by, fill the gap, by
What's an action that you can do?
by being diligent with my time management, brackets, calendar, this is a long one, by being diligent wait. That's okay.
You need a kiwi, my dude.
All right, anybody else while Clem gets his life together? Or his immune system together, sorry.
This is the help of ChatGPT that I'm not as good as others, and then change it to I am unique. I am unique.
How does that sit with you?
I like it.
Why are you unique?
I'm different.
How?
What does anyone say?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do by asking you how is give you even more evidence and conviction towards that.
Just like I'm more into my holistic health, and I think that's a bit different to how other people coach.
How about your personality, your nature?
Caring.
What else? What's a quirk?
I can help.
So can I.
You can allow yourself to be silly and fun?
Yeah.
Right. But still be serious, dedicated and focused? And as a female, maybe that's not as much of a common combination?
Yeah.
Perhaps?
Yeah.
Maybe not? No? A little high-pitched? Maybe not? Trying to find... If I am unique is enough for you, perfect.
I don't know, I think I view the world differently as well.
Yes. Great.
I'd say I'm unique and I have unique experiences.
Yeah, like
Unique
everything you were
views.
talking about before, it's like, I already know all this. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
You don't need to tell me twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to Branson about it last night, just like vaccine stuff,
Mhm.
all of that. Like, I view the world in two different ways. I'm very skeptical of a lot of things that are put out there, and I will question every little thing.
Right.
But then I see other people who are just on the train going to work.
That
every
makes you
day.
unique, Sam.
Yeah,
then.
and I think I view it very differently.
Right.
Just from probably learning from Dave as well, just with certain things, and I picked up on a lot of things through that, and yourself as well. But I think that we are very similar in how we view everything. As
Yeah.
well. And not, I feel like some people can't see the world like that.
That's right.
So yeah, I think I'm very unique
Well,
in that way.
that's good.
And it's hard to find people who are the same.
But as you can see, you
Yeah.
don't need too many,
No,
right?
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. So you are unique, and you own that.
I love it.
Beautiful. You should.
Simpson was unique.
Mhm.
There's no Simpson out there in the world.
I'm so glad I'm
How will
Who you
Simpson
are.
like?
Ah, glad you feel that way.
I'll see you.
Would anybody else like to share?
I would, the best version of me would say I'm criticized and judged by, and I'm saying I am learning to view criticism and judgment as feedback, but only considering it from those whose opinion I care.
That's great. That's really good. That's nuanced and specific, and a really useful reframe. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, boys. Last three. Just give me the last three. Mal?
Give me one second.
All right. Riley?
I am not creating the impact I deeply want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue working towards my mission and I won't stop.
That's good. That's a relentlessness. And I would add one thing. I am impacting people. You're impacting people already. You should acknowledge that. And your testimonials and all the videos and comments people have said about you is proof of that. Seb?
I had here, I'm not the best coach, and I know said that a Reprogram is. I'm a young coach who's still finding their way, and is going to be a good coach.
That's good, but I think you could put some more gusto in it. I think you could put some more conviction in it.
You're going to be amazing.
But
You're the best coach.
think about the traits that will support that. Is it, and the words have to resonate with you. Is it, I am relentlessly dedicated to becoming a greater coach every day because of my consistent habits, study. So and you have to pick the word. It could be dedicated, relentless, passionate, or consistent.
Relentless.
Okay, I'm relentlessly dedicated to becoming a better coach every day because, right?
I have a lot written down, but this one was based on the one I said before about me not being, my past self not being articulate. I said I am articulate and a great communicator. And I said because of my love for learning and conversing with other people.
What was the first one? What was the previous belief? I am
articulate.
No, the not so helpful one. You want to say it? That's all right, I'll read it. Can I read it?
No, I didn't even write it down.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't write down anything.
Okay, I can imagine what the opposite would be then.
Yeah.
One more time for me. I am
articulate and a great communicator because of my love for learning and conversing with others.
Oh, yeah, you are.
The more you say it, it's just more energy.
Again.
and I would add the action and habit that's supporting the improvement of this skill. Because it's going to hold you accountable to learning. For example, one way I improve as a communicator is I self-analyze and watch back my communication, and reading books and observing and studying psychologists has helped me a lot. So I would insert just a little bit of because or just the action point. All right, beautiful. Beautiful, guys.
Character. He's got people lead weak and power, but he made himself strong. He's almost like
Power!
Whoa!
Bitch, people are fucking good.
Yeah, create your version of that.
Is that right?
no. It's a character of this anime I really like.
Mm-hmm. That could be something for your symbol too, perhaps.
Yeah. That's where I get the most inspiration from when I watch characters in anime.
Can you message me? I hope you remember like your favorite anime characters that give you the most inspiration.
Oh, there's heaps.
But there's one or two in particular that is most powerful, right? And anybody else listening, you can send me that too. So the point is to no longer say things that take away power from you. Every word you say has the ability and opportunity to take from you or gift to you. Just like if I came in the room. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but some people carry that energy, right? Shared shard. Shared shard. Stop saying things that make you weaker and take away power from you. And so the last perspective shift before we finish is when you guys hear someone speak like this, what do you think?
It's about claiming this energy.
So people at work, like, they go, oh, I can't do that, or I don't want to do it. Not with that attitude, you're not. Come
Right.
on.
Come on, Dal.
Come on, Dal.
Yeah, my sister's
Let's
always
go.
like, I can't run a half marathon. I'm like, why? Why can't you?
I like that. Just
Yeah,
why?
It's just no, like you can. What do you mean? Like even if you're walking or crawling or over that thing, you can do it. And now she's just gonna do it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great.
She's like training 3 times a week.
Good for her. You way to encourage her. So, just like the T word, just like the S word, some of you have thought, haven't you thought these things? Come on, man, stop whining. Why are you always complaining? Right? Anybody said the things like that? Yeah, that. Loser. Right? Some of you have thought versions of these things, right? When someone has really been complaining. All right? Cool. So, how do you think you sound to other people when you speak in versions of that? They think those things.
I've actually been told that. You always complain.
Well, a part of you, I'm sure, a part of someone would maybe want to get a bit defensive into hearing that. But at least you receive that feedback, unless it's a projection. At least you receive that feedback, and hopefully you can honestly analyze it. So, but these are things that you might think. So, but I'm trying to reverse it and flip it, is that if you think that of others, for sure that is becoming your reputation. So if that's becoming your reputation, you don't want that reputation, do you? Right? Just fucking shut up then. Be mindful of your language is the nice way to say it. Just be mindful of your language and pick your words diligently and carefully and with love and grace and care. Yeah. One more time. Jesus.
My favourite thing about her is that she bought a diamond like crusted goat as a necklace.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a bad bitch.
That's right. She owns that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
That's her reminder.
Right? That's her symbol. But look at this. Watch the breath control. We've done breath work, right? She ties breath with an affirmation. Got this. She's the best in the world, or one of the best in the world, right? She might be visualizing here. She's regulating her nervous system with the breath. And then, just like we saw before with the long jumper, you got this.
Yes, she does.
If people of world-class caliber who have all the evidence in the world that they are the best in the world still say this, you think you might need to? Placebo? What's nocebo? Define it. What's nocebo? I give you this water. And I say, sorry, it's a bit aggressive. And I say, look, man, this is gonna. I've put something in this. You have to drink it, but it's gonna make you feel pretty nauseous after. But it's for your gut. It's gonna really help you, right? But it's gonna make you feel nauseous. So committed. But then I go over here and say, look, this is gonna make you feel great. B, it's gonna make you feel great. You're going so clear-headed. Energy, a bit of caffeine in here. I give you the same thing. You get nauseous. You feel great. I tell you after. It's just water. It's just the same thing.
Like the Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
With the
the
thing of rum.
Felix Felicis.
Yeah, and then he goes and like does really well in the Quidditch games. Yeah. And then they didn't put anything in his drink.
Oh, yeah.
He thought he was fortunate.
The belief. Yeah. He believed.
Yeah.
Is it Harry?
No, it was Ron, yeah.
Ron believed. My man. See? He placeboed himself. I love it. It's you. I'm just going to show you quick evidences. Jesus. 3 pieces of evidence. Study. 50 people who suffered chronic back pain were given a flexibility test. Half were told that the test might cause pain. The other half were not. The group that were told it would cause pain experienced significantly more pain. Okay? Experiment. Finasteride to help relieve symptoms of prostate disease. One group told it would give them ED, erectile dysfunction. The other group told it wouldn't. The group that were told it would give them erectile dysfunction, 30% of those people, like 30% more people experienced ED because they were just told their dicks would not work. Their mind controlled that. It wasn't the drug. Some what? Oh, yeah, and there's the other one, Cialis. Is that what you mean? Okay, the actual drug. And then this guy, case study, he swallowed 26 pills and he what was it? Oh, he thought he was going to overdose. He took 26 pills and thought he was going to overdose, and there was nothing in the pills. But he experienced such dangerously low blood pressure that he experienced such severe symptoms that he was basically about to pass out and become nauseous, become really sick as a result of thinking that he was going to die. So he convinced himself, and he experienced severe symptoms. And then he was told, "You're fine. There's nothing in these," and he returned to normal.
Yeah.
You just got pranked by the prank.
That's so crazy.
Right, that's the power of your mind. Everything from pain to sexual function to severe symptoms. So this is the power of language and belief. Research supports it. All these videos I showed you, all these case studies, your life itself. The words you speak have power. The beliefs you have power. They are just as powerful, in my view, I believe, as God himself, as any religious doctrine you believe. You are and you have this power. That's it. Guys did a tremendous job. Thank you. That only took me 100 hours to make.
Thank you for making that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, I should say, excuse me, us.
Thank you all for making that.
Yeah, you've come at a good time.
Thank you.
So, what was the, if you guys don't mind sharing, what was the any aha moments throughout these last 48 hours, or what possibly shifted your perspective? And there's more shifting to come. Things will happen later, but.
Well, I think that sometimes it's more myself that holds me back and keeps me in like this negative, I would say negative, like loop. And I put these beliefs on myself and no one else is putting them on me. Because I always hear the opposite. When I express my concern or when I express how I feel about something, everyone's like, really?
Oh.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I don't think that's true. I'm like, okay.
And you're realizing you have a lot more power or responsibility and control than you once did?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Especially like with the self-talk. That's something that I know I need to get better at. And it's funny, I was actually telling Haley this morning that I always give out really great advice that I'll never think to take myself.
And now?
And now I know that I need to give myself the love that I give to others.
Yeah, you deserve that.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I will.
Good.
It will probably take some navigating and adjusting, but I will.
That's okay.
Mine was like the delusion from like it's better to be more self, than too humble.
That's right, like the Dragon Ball Z characters. You ever watch that?
Not really.
Okay, I thought that was an animation you watched.
Yeah, no.
But like
so.
you, no, it's okay. Not because you're Asian. Because you like anime. Jesus, why do you have to be so racist to yourself? Yeah, it's a bit older.
I'll watch a couple of episodes and that's it.
Because like Simon grew up watching that.
Oh,
He's
okay.
Older,
Yeah,
older than everyone.
that's true. Your favorite anime characters, they have a degree of self-delusion that potentially?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
That didn't really land.
Doesn't have the anime, but still, yeah. Like, what would you say? What you presented was like, yeah, fair enough. Because I'm always like, yes, I'm probably, when people compliment me, I feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes. Like I'm more used to people like dissing me, and that almost feels a bit more like I'm like, okay, well that feels normal. So yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I don't take compliment. Like I don't. I always think they're flattering sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck, shit, really, dog?
I have to learn to just say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say
Yeah, I'll say thank you, of course.
Yeah, don't.
It's like in school, I don't know, like, you probably resonate with this, but people go like, oh, you're so pretty, and you're like, oh, no, I'm not.
The kids say it to me at school, and I'm like, thank you now.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to say?
What's your number?
That response is like someone giving you a gift and you setting it on fire.
Yeah.
And it's also
Yeah,
like
true.
teaching kids, oh, she can't take a compliment.
Yeah, or like not to say nice things to people,
Yeah.
but as a teacher, you kind of feel like you can't accept that
Yeah.
in a way because you're taught like not to touch a kid or
Yeah.
not to do certain things.
That's a really kind thing.
You're
to
like
say to
really
someone.
scared that you're gonna overstep the boundary of what's
Yeah, that made
It's
me
harder
realize.
for boys, is it though? Like you're
Well, you can receive a compliment, can't you?
Thank you. I need
Yeah.
to,
But feel the sincerity. You have intuition. You can feel
Yeah.
the sincerity if someone's talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So the self-delusion,
Yeah, 100%.
pragmatic self-delusion.
Yeah, because then I was reflecting back how I thought of things, and I'm always like, I always downplay it so much, even in my own self, in my head. So it's like, yeah, it's not really helpful.
That's right.
So yeah, that really resonated with me. And
Great.
then if you can just say it in your mind, and then you just rephrase how you think of it yourself, yeah, very powerful. If you say it enough, part of you starts to believe in it a bit more.
That's right.
So yeah, that was really good. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think the stuff yesterday with the arrogance, like I think that was very limiting for me. Like I never want to come across arrogant, even though I have, and I do have an exaggerated belief in my abilities, but I don't in my importance. Like I don't think I'm bigger than people. But I thought that was what arrogance was. So I was like, I don't want to think I'm smarter than you because then I'm arrogant. You know, and I don't want to think I can make more money than someone else because then that's arrogant. I had that like
Right, and that
limiting
you feel like that limits your capacity to actually
I
achieve
feel
those
like-
things?
Yeah, but I feel like that's not going to be a problem.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think the like releasing limiting beliefs exercise we did this before was really helpful.
Okay.
Because like, you know, you have these more negative thoughts sometimes. And just being able to like even just reflect on it myself and say, well no, like here's the evidence to dispute that. Be gone.
That was helpful to provide that evidence against. Good. Bye, Felicia.
Peace out, motherfucker.
Peace out, A-Town. No. I've got the whole song in my head now. Jimena?
For me, it was, well, the communication part is something that I've been working for quite some time. But like this really brought it up to the surface, so I need to like be more mindful of that because I do catch myself sometimes saying I am T, I am Missy. So like I feel Missy. So yeah, I think I want to be more diligent with that.
Yeah, great.
And also with the last part where we just change how we speak about like I am this and change change it into a more positive self-talk.
Right. Yeah, and you had, what was your one again? You had quite a good one. Your change?
It was, that version of me will say, I am criticized and judged by, and now say I am learning to view criticism and judgment as feedback, but only considering it from those whose opinion I care.
It's great. Yeah, you said it so naturally. You said that version of myself. So you're disconnecting your current self from your old self. You said it, so that was great what you just did. Welcome. Do you think does any part of you hold back from even speaking in groups like this, you think because of a part of your past self's lack of confidence to speak with English?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
it's hard to communicate.
Okay.
But
So
by now I feel like it's not my best. It's so hard to like express emotions in English.
Yeah.
I know when you diss me.
I can roast people easily. Especially expressing emotions and being like seriously, like I take a lot of time doing it.
Okay.
And like I have to think about it and just try to find the right words.
That's fair enough. And I'm sure that comes with challenges in your relationship, but is it something that you've grown and gotten a little bit better at over time?
I feel like yes. I cannot see it right now, but definitely yeah, it's improved since I've arrived to Australia.
Good.
I would definitely say, I guess knowing me for
True.
a bit now, one, you've come out of your show way more, and we know like what Jimena's like now on the inside, which is very bubbly, very beautiful. And I think even you in your relationship with Jai has actually expedited that process of being able to communicate with your emotions, because Jai gives you a safe space to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that is a very big contributing factor to how you've developed as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think you notice it as much, but I definitely do.
Yeah, it's like, which I like, I try my best to explain myself, and I found a way of doing it, like, even though it doesn't make sense, like, he understands, because I can say something about a waterfall, and like, how that connects to what I'm feeling, he like, understands, but in like a group setting, expressing, it's hard, because everyone like speaks so great and perfect, for me at least, so it's like,
Oh my god, my English is terrible.
Would you guys like to hear more of Jimena's like spirit, energy, and her like speak more?
If you want to use waterfalls as analogies, by all means go for it.
I'd love if you had. What do I want to say? I just want to give you more of the courage and bravery to speak up, because your voice is really valued here, and I hope this is an environment that you can continually feel is safe enough for you to take a risk and not be afraid to look a little bit silly or speak your heart, even if it's a little bit harder for us to understand, so we can get to know you more and deeply more connect with you.
And help build your confidence.
That's right. That's right.
Like you can use us.
Yeah. Which will help you with the future. That's true. All right. Who do I have left?
For me, it was actually at the start of just talking about, you can coach the mind and you can coach the environment, and really coaching those two things and how practically contagious they are, and being able to, even just then linking it to this afternoon with the environment being the media, the culture you're in, or the setting, and then the upbringing that you've had. And that's sort of obviously the basis that there's way more to environment, it's so much more dynamic, but just how to sort of break down environment when talking about like language management, because this stuff here is mainly what I'm interpreting it as, where especially around kids, a lot of the things that parents are focused on is like, children not swearing as much and all this, but the deeper things around where this is coming from, obviously the parents themselves, or what they're consuming, and in a performance setting as well, how it's like just the swearing is just the tip of the iceberg really in terms of language management. That's also linked to their mind, of course. So that's probably the big.
So I can see you've linked, bless you baby, you've linked the environment mindset piece at the start with kind of this later on what we talked about.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
with obviously just being able to look at all the things that go, as many things as possible that go into environment, all the things that go into mindset, and obviously just how I can visually show this to kids that can obviously have a hard time grasping this stuff. Of like, okay, there's a lot that we could do in this space, and the scope of practice, what I feel, like what I can speak to or not speak to as of right now, and then going to, of how I can support them on certain things depending on what they're struggling with.
Oh, you have such an important role, Branson. You have the next generation in your hands. You know what you can do with this stuff. I'll give you all the support you need, as much as the capacity I can have. If we needed to restructure this for like a kid-friendly, how to explain like I'm 5 version, let's do that. Because there's a lot of capacity here, I hope, that you can find to even speak to the parents and then the children about. Probably chat GPT the whole presentation. Turn this, communicate this for children who are 12 or 14. So there's a lot of great potential there. I'm glad you see it.
Probably just writing out my health, and then I was talking to Branson about I made like an action step to notice in my day to day when I'm deviating from kind of my heaven or where I want to go, and when those, I guess, sometimes those habits or those just even like little actions throughout my day are not coinciding with where I want to be.
You wrote a protocol for yourself.
A little bit, yeah.
That's great. That's very proactive. Is it brief enough to share? If you want to.
I actually want to refine that a little bit.
Okay, no problem. But that's great. So Seb is prepared for the time where he may get off track. You have something in place to remind yourself. It's very good. Have I acknowledged everybody? All right. Thank you. It's nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's nice.
Some cheese in there?
Whatever comes natural. So Daniel and I are going to talk about a potential ritual that we can do for the limiting belief exercise. Perhaps we want to leave them with something that they can do for that, and we can do it either tonight or tomorrow morning or even the morning after.
Probably tonight.
Yeah?
It's better at night.
Yeah. Okay. Some of them have typed it. Do you want me to prompt them? Or do you want to prompt them with what they can write out?
Probably you need to write it out.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be a physical piece of paper you can write out.
So guys, the limiting beliefs that you've written, if you've typed them, put them on paper. Okay, could you guys do that? Just before dinner? That's it.
Just the personal ones that you have about yourself that holds the most.
Yeah, pick the ones that hold the most weight. I would still do business and money and things if it holds weight.
Just holds weight.
Yeah, just pick the ones that hold the most weight. Have a separate piece of paper for each one. Okay?
We want to rip it out.
Are we going to burn it?
I don't know. Maybe.
You'll have
We'll
to
see.
rip it out. So if you can't rip it out of that, then
I'll write another page in it.
yeah.
Yeah, write on another page then. Yeah, and rip the whole page. All right. So,
What time's dinner?
what time is it now?
6:13.
I have to go to Woolies to pick up that stuff.
Yeah. So, 6:13, it's about 20 minutes. Then you've got to pick up something else if it's open. It's not going to be open. Yeah. You check the time if it's open. Dinner, what do you think? Something around 7:30?
Yeah.
Call it about 75 minutes from now. Okay, just be here in the room by 7:30, and you guys can do whatever you like. Enjoy the sunset. And thank you for being so attentive and so focused and so dedicated. I know this